What is going on YouTube? Trip6 here. In today's video, I'm going to be covering the top 5 fundamentals of singing. Now, these fundamentals are applicable to any type of singing. First, a little background. I've been singing for over 9 years, starting with choir in middle school, and then later got into singing metal and doing some screaming stuff. And these fundamentals are what I found to be applicable all across the board. Also, be sure to watch until the end because at the very end of this video, I'm going to be talking about a practice you can do to greatly speed up your progress. So let's just get into it. Number 1, hydration. Now, this doesn't mean just chugging a bottle of water before you start singing. This means that you need to be hydrating before you begin singing and be hydrated while you are singing. This is so important for you to do because your vocal folds need to remain hydrated nicely so that they can work properly for a longer time. I would personally recommend drinking at least 10 glasses of water throughout the day you are singing. It also doesn't hurt to add a couple glasses of hot tea throughout this schedule. Number 2, posture. You are not going to be sounding as powerful or as on top of your game unless you take a strong, straight posture while you sing. Personally, I prefer standing while singing because it's easier for me to take a straight posture while standing up as opposed to sitting down, because for me that just kind of feels a little awkward sitting that way. But to each their own. Straight postures have also been scientifically linked to higher levels of confidence, which definitely helps you while you're singing. Also, be sure to keep your shoulders relaxed because tension isn't good for anybody. Number 3, breathe from your diaphragm. Now, this actually took a very long time for me to get down, and I learned it from my high school choir teacher, Mr. Moreland. Shout out, Mr. Moreland. We, as teenagers and adults, tend to breathe from our chest, which always gives out a weaker sound, which is very interesting because as babies, our default breathing style comes from the diaphragm. But as we get older, I guess it, for whatever reason, switched to the chest. So bring back your primal way of breathing from the diaphragm. Learn how to control it, and you will sound much more powerful, and you will sound like you're in much more control. Number 4, warm-ups are always key. Warm-ups are very important because you do not want to shock your vocal cords into singing higher up in your range. This can lead to very damaging consequences for your voice's durability. I personally always warm up a minimum of 5 minutes before doing some clean singing, and 15 minutes minimum if I'm going to be doing screaming or any kind of harsh vocals. During these warm-ups, you want to softly touch on every part of your range. So pick any note. I typically start with C and go up and back down the scale. Then go up a half step and repeat the entire cycle and continue doing this until you've hit every bit of your range, even the falsetto. For example, and then I go up the half step and do the same thing. Always do your warm-ups without any exception. Number 5, pace yourself when practicing. This is what's going to happen to you. You're going to get into this routine, you're going to start singing, start noticing yourself improve, and it's going to be just awesome for you. You're going to have a blast, but it is possible to burn yourself out too quickly. So I would personally recommend not singing for any more than 2 hours each day. That way you'll gradually increase your stamina and endurance while still sounding crisp and fresh. And finally, for the moment many of you have been waiting for, that practice that will help you speed up your progress exponentially. Take time to record yourself while you're singing. Now, trust me, I get it. It is so nauseating to hear the sound of your own voice. It is very important though, because as you do this, you'll be able to see whether or not you're hitting notes correctly, and you can see what your tone sounds like, and you can make your adjustments as you go. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like what you saw, please hit subscribe, drop a like, and drop a comment on any tips you as a singer might feel would be helpful to people just picking up the hobby. See you in my next video.